The night was heavy with silence, broken only by the distant croak of frogs and the faint rustle of leaves. A lone man walked down a dirt path through the woods, a flashlight in one hand, his other clutching a plastic bag of groceries. His name was Daniel. Daniel was a single dad, 35, weary, his face hardened by life, yet softened every time he thought of his daughter, Lily. She was just 6, with a heart condition that demanded medication he could barely afford. Every step Daniel took in life seemed heavier, burdened by bills, rejection letters, and the gnawing fear of losing the only family he had left. He had taken a shortcut through the woods that night to get home faster. Lily was waiting, likely curled up with her sketchbook, trying to stay awake for him. That thought alone kept his tired legs moving. But then, he froze. A faint, muffled sound broke through the silence. At first, Daniel thought it was the wind. But then it came again, desperate, trembling, human. A voice. Help, please. Daniel's flashlight swung wildly, catching the twisted roots of trees, the uneven soil. And then his heart nearly stopped. There, half buried in the dirt, a hand, pale, trembling, the fingernails clawing at the earth. Daniel dropped the bag, his instincts surging. He scrambled forward, shoving dirt aside with frantic hands. His pulse pounded as he dug deeper, revealing a woman's face, mud-streaked, bruised, gasping for air. Her eyes fluttered open, wild with fear. "Don't let them find me," she whispered hoarsely. Daniel didn't think. He hauled her free, his arms straining. She was dressed in what once had been expensive clothes, now torn, ruined by dirt. Her jewelry caught the faint beam of his flashlight. Whoever she wasn't ordinary. "Stay with me," Daniel urged, supporting her weight. "Who did this to you?" But her voice broke as she clutched his shirt. "Please, just get me out." He carried her, every muscle burning, until they reached the edge of the road. No cars, no one, just the endless dark. He could barely balance her with one arm, his other fumbling for his old flip phone. No signal. Cursing under his breath, Daniel made a decision. He brought her home. His daughter, Lily, blinked wide-eyed as he staggered in with the woman. "Daddy, who is that?" "Someone who needs our help," he whispered, laying the woman carefully on their worn-out couch. Lily hurried with a blanket while Daniel cleaned her wounds with the little supplies they had. Slowly, the woman's breathing steadied. Her eyes, deep green, glimmering even in exhaustion, watched Daniel with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "Why?" she whispered at last. "Why help me? You don't even know who I am." Daniel looked at her, his jaw tight. "Because no one deserves to be left like that. Because I'd want someone to help my daughter if she were in danger." "That's enough." The woman's lips trembled. For a moment, her proud exterior cracked, and she looked fragile. Her name, she revealed after hours of silence, was Eleanor Hartwell. Billionaire heiress. One of the most powerful families in the city. She had been kidnapped for ransom, betrayed by those closest to her. She had escaped barely alive, crawling until she collapsed in the woods where Daniel found her. Daniel didn't know what to say. He was just a janitor, a father trying to keep the lights on. And here was this woman whose name was spoken in newspapers, now resting on his second-hand couch. Over the next days, Eleanor stayed hidden in Daniel's small home as she recovered. Lily, innocent and warm, kept her company, drawing pictures, offering little snacks, chattering about school. Eleanor, who had always lived behind glass walls of wealth, found herself laughing softly for the first time in years. But Daniel was cautious. "As soon as you're strong enough, I'll get you to the authorities," he said. Eleanor only nodded, yet something stirred inside her, something she hadn't felt before. Safety, kindness, humanity without a price tag. One night, as Daniel checked on her, she whispered words that froze him. "You saved me, but you saved more than my life. You showed me people like you still exist." Her eyes glistened with tears. "And if I'm honest, I think you also saved my soul." Daniel looked away, overwhelmed. He wasn't a hero. He was a man who couldn't even buy his daughter's medicine without skipping meals. But Eleanor reached for his hand. "You have no idea what this means," she whispered. When Eleanor finally returned to the world, it was with protection and headlines. Her survival story shook the city. But behind the cameras, she held Daniel's hand and looked at Lily like family. And one day, when Daniel came home from yet another grueling shift, he found something on his kitchen table, a neatly sealed envelope. Inside was not just a check enough to cover Lily's surgery and their future, but a handwritten note. Sometimes the people who save us are the ones we were meant to save too. Thank you for giving me back my life. Now let me give you back yours. It was signed, Eleanor. From then on, their lives were never the same. Not because of the money, but because of the bond born from one desperate night in the woods. A bond of kindness, of second chances, of love that no wealth could ever buy. And maybe that's what life is truly about, not riches, not power, but the miracle of crossing paths with someone who changes your story forever. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because sometimes, the stories we carry are the ones that can heal the world.